On this edition of Wolf Tracks, we'll take a look at the recent SK Chamber Choir production of the Madrigal Feast. In Sync? Backstreet? Nope, it's Kickshaw. Tonight, we'll take a look at their recent performance held here at South Kitsap. And we'll take a deeper look into the recent sewage spill, which has had its effect on two pro-orchard businesses. All this and more, tonight on Wolf Tracks.
Hello and welcome to the January edition of Wolf Tracks, also the first for the year 2001. Again, I'm your host, Joel, and with me today is my lovely and talented co-host, Makayla.
Thanks, Joel, but aren't you forgetting someone?
Oh yeah, Dino's here too. So let's get things started, shall we? Our first story is about the blood drive held here at SK.
South set a new record this year for the drive. Let's take a look.
And on December 7th, the students at South Kitsap showed just how much they really love blood by donating their own. This year, South students donated 210 pints of blood to the Puget Sound Blood Center. It was the largest blood donation they had this year, even beating out the shipyard.
Compared to what the Red Cross does with their blood centers, we provide the blood for all the hospitals north of the Columbia River and south of the Canadian border on the west side of the mountains.
Giving blood may sound a little scary, but this South student seemed very calm during the entire procedure.
Okay, well, you come in, and they put you in a computer, and you sit down, you wait a while, and then you go and you get screened. They ask you a whole bunch of questions about tattoos and piercings and stuff like that. And then you go and sit and lay down over there for a while, and then they tie your arm up with some stuff and stick the needle in, drain the blood. Then you gotta hold your arm up in the air for like 5 more minutes, and then you put it down. You lay there for about 5 more minutes, then you leave.
Give blood because it's good and it might help out other people, and you know, the cranberry juice is really good, and the cookies.
Saves lives, and if people need blood, they can have it.
I think people should give blood because it's one of those kind of civic duties. We encourage people to vote. We encourage people to do different volunteer projects.
So after the blood has been drawn and put in the cooler, where does it all end up?
The blood is used for people who are patients that need transfusions. You have leukemia patients, you have children, you have all kinds of people that are different age groups that have emergencies, car accidents.
Donating your blood can both help others in need of blood and yourself.
That about 75% of the population at some point in their life will need blood. And so giving blood is kind of just evening up the score.
Well, you heard it. Most likely you'll need blood sometime in your life. So next time you see a blood drive, sign up. You'll be saving lives.
Hey, I made a couple of changes. If you could just hold that up for us.
Ready, Joel?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, why did Makayla get all my
Let's
lines?
move on, shall we? Our next story is on the Chamber Choir's Madrigal Feast.
Well, the feast has some of the best singing South has to offer.
Yeah, including me.
Well, let's just see how they did.
Mid-December at the South Kitsap Presbyterian Church heralded 3 nights of the South Kitsap High School Chamber Choir's performances of a Madrigal Feast. The show, featuring an 8-course meal, a theatrical exhibition, a puppet show, as well as a full Christmas-inspired concert, was enjoyed by over 500 people of the community.
We get rave reviews every year. People really enjoy it. They enjoy the food and they enjoy the evening, the performance. I think people have started to make it a tradition.
Even with the entire effort of the 22 members of the chamber choir, this immense endeavor required external help, including choir parents, extra students, in addition to teachers interested in the production.
Huge amounts of work getting things together for the music. We do about 28 songs in the show, and then we have a lot of parents that are involved in preparation of food. Mrs. Keene helped us out with costumes, made all of the costumes for us. It's a huge, huge endeavor. Takes, we figure there's about 30 parents involved, as well as all the kids and myself.
The dramatic aspects, including the puppet show and humorous storyline, seemed well received with laughs, claps, and cheers.
When I say knock knock, you must say, who's there? There's nothing.
Who's there?
The Earl.
The Earl of what?
The early to bed and the early to rise and majestic exits between the eyes.
In contrast to other theatrical and musical performances of South Kitsap, the responsibilities of the Madrigal Feast was tremendous.
The amount of effort is tenfold probably. We work a lot longer to put this on just because of the immensity of the production. The atmosphere is so different from any other performance. It's not just a musical production or not just a theater production, and not either one of just those. It's the full dinner and the costuming and the setting the ambiance and getting everything prepared and setting the theater, and just it's incredible.
During the 2-hour experience, the audience was treated with a great display of entertainment. The audience's approval and praise was exhibited by a lengthy standing ovation. The holiday spirit, exuberated by the Madrigal Feast, was alive and well in the community of South Kitsap.
Lords of London would love this hair. I am a big, bright, shining star.
Let's just take a look at these messages.
Wow, varsity wrestling. I wonder what that's like. Oh, no way.
All right, we're back.
Hey, Dino, this is a letter from your teacher. Something about your car getting towed because you didn't have a pass?
What? But I have a pass.
That Dino. Nothing but trouble, you know?
I wonder if he needs any help.
Nah, he'll be fine. Continue.
Well, South has a reputation of being one of the greatest high schools in the state.
But it had to undergo a lot of changes before it could become what it is today. Let's take a look at this story about the history of SK.
South Kitsap High School. You probably think it's been this way forever, but really it's been through many changes since the days of 1912. For fun, we asked some students what they know about the old SK.
I don't know, I'm assuming it wasn't too much different than now, though. People come to school, hang out at lunchroom, have some fun, I guess.
And the weight room, and this is just stuff he told me, the weight room was originally the track shed.
But I heard it had more buildings and that kind of stuff. I think it should be back that way, so we have more room and less crowding.
The first graduating class in 1922 consisted of 12 people. It was a tough subject to research, but with a few trips to the library and some informative interviews from staff, we discovered a number of leads to SK's past. Old yearbooks dated from the early 20s and up to the 70s, which gave some insight about the old school building when it was called South Kitsap Union High School back in 1922. Here is a map from what the building looked like in the 70s. In the 1980s, there was a major renovation. The only part of the school building standing from years ago was the south building, with an auto shop, traffic safety, and graphics along with ceramics.
I remember a group of inspectors came by during my high school career and decided that the high school was basically unsafe in a lot of areas, and so the high school had large metal structures called flying buttresses placed on the outside. In case an earthquake would happen, it wouldn't fall down. The stairways leaked water. The stairways, the treads on the stairs were very badly worn.
We had the old building, West Building, North Building, South Building, all these old buildings, and the old gym. The newest thing we had going then was the new science wing, which now is, goodness, I don't know if it's part of the building. It might be the old traffic safety area, and down in that area, that was brand new my senior year.
My graduating class was 186 members. So that's a pretty big contrast to the way it is now. So I would say that probably the whole student body was probably 1,000 maybe, compared to the 2,500 today.
When I was here, we did what we called double shifting, which means we came here, I was a junior when we double shifted, so I came here in the morning, had first shift. So we started school about 6:30, got out at noon, which is kind of nice, but we were also very asleep.
There was even a smoke shack from 1972 to 1974, but was taken down due to some problems. And here we are in the year 2001 with over 2,600 students in a school made for 1,800. This means the changes may not be over yet. And there you have it, a little piece of history right here in Port Orchard.
I wonder how Dino's doing.
What? My car's still here. I'm sure he's fine. You know, after seeing that story about SK history, it really makes me wonder about that toaster, piece of art in the front lawn.
A lot of questions surround this piece. Who made it, where it's from, and what it used to do.
Well, let's see if the story will answer any questions.
Have you ever wondered what the weird sculpture on the front lawn is? Who put it there, and why? Recently, a team of SK students were on the search to find out just what the point of the triangle metal sculpture is. They started their search asking students.
I think it's, I don't know really what it is. It's just a triangle thing that's in the way. I mean, I thought it was lights, but people were saying that it's not lights, so it's just nothing. I don't know. I don't know why it's there, so I don't know what it is.
I think it's this center for a meeting for all the Canadian communists, and it's where their Canadian communist cult meets monthly.
I think the artist had the mind of a 4-year-old, and maybe they'd had their blocks taken away or something when they were young. So that was their venture back into childhood, is putting that giant triangle thing on the front lawn.
Contrary to what most students think, the Washington State Art Commission donated the sculpture to the high school about 10 years ago. The artist? Barry Holden. His inspirations? Well, we're not sure. The price? $36,420. The name? Hoover. When SK first received Hoover, it was lit up with neon lights. Unfortunately, because of maintenancing, the lights are no longer lit. So maybe next time you walk by Hoover, you'll appreciate its beauty and creativity. Or maybe not. But remember, SK's lawn wouldn't be the same without it.
So,
where's Joel?
The rabbi says to stay here.
Let's just take a quick break.
Hello and welcome back to Wolf Tracks. Well, it's the year 2001, and that means...
That means out with the old and in with the new.
Let's just see what students think about the new year.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Happy New Year 2001!
It's another new year, another excellent celebration. But there's something we all forgot about: the turn of the new millennium. Last year, families were building up Y2K storages in fear of a complete breakdown of all computer and electronic devices, only to realize that the year 2000 was just like every other new year we've had. With all this in the past, you'd think that for the year 2001, we'd have widespread panic once again for another predicted Armageddon. But instead, people are taking the more relaxed style, not even thinking that the new year may actually be the real new millennium. But what do the students here at SK really think about the new millennium change?
It would be this coming year because it didn't start at 080, it started at 180s.
The new millennium was 3 years ago in 97 because the Greeks messed up on the calendar by 4 years, which would make it 4 years back in the year 2001 because it started in the year 1 instead of 0.
Well, I think it could be 2001 because it was, there was no year 0, so that's my opinion on it.
We are the coolest class, and we're graduating, so therefore that should be the new millennium. Yeah.
I think whenever they say it is, it's good enough for me.
So maybe we are a little unsure about the new millennium, but one thing's for sure: the year 2001 is going to be a year to remember.
Well, these guys stink, but here's a story about Kickshaw. They were good.
Early last year, students crowded into the gym for an entertainment treat. The instrumentless band, known as Kickshaw, put on an amazing mouth music show. On Friday, December 15, 2000, they were back. With one member gone and 2 new ones, the band sounded better than ever. Jim Castaneda, Danny Figgins, and Andy Marshall are the brains behind the writing and arranging for the band. Dan Schumacher and newcomer Blake Lewis add in to give the group a full sound. All of these guys have been active in their school jazz bands, choirs, or drama classes for many years. They recently finished a full-length album titled Superstar. And based on the excellent reactions from South students, these guys may have opened the doors for mouth music lovers everywhere.
So where's Dino now?
Just give me some food. I'm a little hungry.
Oh, shoot. Oh, boy. What's up now? There you go.
Hey, thanks, Dino. Finally.
So anyway, our next story is on a restaurant sewage spill that happened in December.
The spill not only affected businesses, but our own school as well.
Let's see what happened.
Yeah. It's good.
What could have happened to cause all this work?
We had 3 inches of raw sewage bubbling up out of every drain in the floor.
The spill happened on November 29th, flooding Spiros and Smileys.
There was an obstruction, and there was raw sewage coming out of a manhole cover right up Mile Hill. They went to clear that, and when they cleared that, it got away from them, came down the line farther, plugged it up, and then came out here.
The flooding lasted for 3 hours, filling both restaurants with 1,500 gallons of raw sewage. All the sewage cost $60,000 in damages to Spiros alone.
We had the carpet gone, we had the tile scraped up off the floor, we had cabinets removed that same evening. Then the next day we came in here and we ended up renting 2 storage units and we totally gutted the restaurant.
But we replaced the chairs, the bottoms of the booths, the carpet, the floor, food, anything that came in contact with the raw sewage, we tried to replace.
Spiro's was closed for 3.5 weeks while the restaurant was being returned to its proper form. Unfortunately, Smiley's reopening was held back due to circumstances beyond the owner's control.
The owner of Smiley's, his insurance wouldn't cover it, so he had to wait for the sewer district to take responsibility, well, their insurance company to take responsibility and admit fault. Once they did, then he was able to start working.
Could being closed for 3.5 weeks really be that bad for a restaurant?
Well, Spiro's only closes 2 days out of the year. That's Thanksgiving and Christmas, and pretty much because our mother makes us. Otherwise, we'd be probably open part of those days, too.
So, I think it will be just a matter of time for Spiro's loyal following to be back in full gear.
Once we reopened, all the customers came back, and it seemed like it just didn't even happen. It's like a dream, other than, you know, the walls are a different color and everything's new.
Well, everything's looking up for Spiro's. Smiley's is expected to reopen in late January, and Spiro's reopened on December 22nd, packed like it always is.
All right, one more story to go. You know, I've been doing pretty good this episode.
What about us?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Dave, will you turn off his mic?
Turn off my mic, you can't do...
That's more like it.
Yeah. Now, where were we? The last story. Dino, you can introduce it.
Thank you, Makayla. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the last pep assembly held here at South.
School spirit was higher than ever at a mid-December pep assembly. This is the traditional celebration of the arrival of winter sports. To jumpstart it all, the cheerleaders performed their own version of country grammar. Next order of business, the crowd was introduced to some of the winter sports participants. And then, the men's basketball team put on a show of their own. Believe it or not, these are the South staff members. They call themselves the Cosmic Chestnuts. And then Joe, formerly known as Joe Sophomore, took the stage as he once again struggled to get the girl of his dreams. To top it all off, what would be better than the traditional class competitions with some traditional eggnog chugging? Another assembly is done and over with, but the spirit of the wolf carries on.
Well, that was our show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Be sure to watch Wolf Tracks every Thursday at 7:30.
On behalf of Dino, the video production program, and myself.
Yeah, and Joel too. See you next time.
Edition of Wolf Tracks, also the first for the year 2000. I'm your host again, Joel. 2001. Okay, keep going, keep going. I'm sorry. Piece of art in the front lawn.
A lot of questions surround this piece. Who made it? How would... Dang it, that was so good too.
Somebody.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
Me?
Let's just see how they did.
And that means?
That means out with the old and in with the new.
Let's say when I say something. Anyways, focus on my next story. Okay. Oh yeah, Joel too. I forgot the last line.
Yes!
Chest bump.
Oh, I heard about it. I never saw it myself. There's pictures of it. Chris, your hair's crazy, dude.
Hey! Willie, it's more Willie.
Let's check out that story. I flubbed my line.
Yeah, no. Do it over again.
Well, you know history of SK. Big 10 for that one.
They were good.
I can see it too. I'm laughing all. I forgot all my lines already.
Okay. Well, these guys suck, but here's suck. Shoot!
Ow! All right. Yeah, and Joel too. See you next time. Man, I'm sorry, Joel.
I'm sorry.
Whoa! Whoa!
How'd that turn out?
Who are you going to tell her with, Jen?
I want to ask Nick, but I think he'll say no.
He won't say no.
How do you know?
How do I know? Look at him. He's so cute. He wouldn't say no to you. No, really. Go over there. Go ask him. Go.
You know how Tolo's like next week? Well, I was just wondering if you sort of kind of like want to go with me?
Sure, girl. I'll go with you. She
Really?
asked me earlier. Yeah, what's up?
Cool. I mean, that's cool.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you get the tour tickets?
The ticket. Oh no, I forgot.
Didn't get the tickets. Oh my god. I guess I'm not going with you.